Okay, so hello everyone. And today we are going to talk about the key elements of new paradigm in the workplace diversity. So this concept of a new paradigm in workplace diversity reflects a significant evolution in how organizations approach diversity, equality, and inclusions, or what we called DIE or DEI. Okay, so the shifts is driven by the recognitions that diverse workforces can lead to enhanced creativity, innovation, and overall organizational effectiveness. So here's a breakdown of the key components of new paradigm. So allow me to present to you the different components of or elements of new paradigm in workplace. So now, as we notice in the workplace, there's already an evolution or change. Okay, so for example, when it comes to inclusivity, so inclusivity it refers to the creating an environment where all employees feel valued, respected, and able to contribute fully regardless of their backgrounds or identity. So as we can see that in the workplace now there's already inclusivity. So for example, imagine a tech company, let's say yung character natin si Sarah, no, a junior developer from a underrepresented background feels isolated in her role. So the company starts a mentorship program that pairs her with Lisa, let's say a senior engineer. So Lisa shares her experiences and offers guidance, so helping Sarah navigate her career path. So this connection not only boosts Sarah's confidence but also help her feel valued and included in the team. So that is inclusivity. So inclusivity is creating an environment where all employees feel valued. So nakikita natin siya ngayon in the workplace. Okay? So aside from that, we have also collaboration. So collaborations emphasize teamwork and also collective problem solving, leveraging the diverse skills and experience of all employees. So for example, let's say you have a marketing firm or marketing agency. So a project team is formed to launch a new campaign, let's say. So the team includes Alex, a creative designer. So for example, me, Joshua, a data analyst, and Ma'am Ivy, a content writer. So by bringing together Alex, Joshua, and Ivy, um, uh, their diverse skills and perspectives, they brainstorm ideas that blends creativity with data insights. So the result in this campaign that resonates with a wider audience, showcasing the power of collaboration. So it means na mas maganda yung insight, mas maganda yung project if there's collaboration. Nakikita ba natin yan sa modern workplace? Yes, nag-exist po sila. So that is also one of the element of new paradigm in workplace. Okay? So aside from collaboration, we have also effective management of diverse workforces. Okay, so effective management involves implementing strategies and practices that recognize and utilize also the strengths of diverse workforce. So the implication of having an effective management of diverse workforces, no, organizations are doing practices such as flexible work arrangements, mentorship programs, or let's say targeted professional developments to support the unique needs of diverse employees. So this tailored approach actually helps to maximize or the employee engagement and productivity. So for example, in a healthcare organization, so for example, me, Joshua, I am a nurse and I am a single parent, let's say. So I struggles to balance my work schedule with my parenting duties. So the organization introduced flexible hours, allowing me to choose shifts that fit my family needs. So this flexibility not only help myself manage my responsibilities, but also increases my job satisfaction and loyalty to the organization. So that is what we call effective management of diverse workforce. No, there's adapting such a flexible work arrangements. So nakikita ba natin siya in the workplace now? Yes. Okay. So it's good that the workplace now is evolving. There's already changes. Okay. So that is one of the key element of new paradigm in workplace, having an effective management of diverse workforces. Okay. Now let's move on to the fourth one, which is departure from traditional hierarchical structure. So traditional hierarchical structures often creates rigid chains of command that can stifle innovations and limit employees' inputs. So now the implication of having this, the new paradigm favors flatter organization structures that empower employees at all levels to share their ideas and contribute to decision making. So this shift um promotes a more agile and responsive organization that is capable of adapting changing markets conditions and employees needs. So it's good here that they are challenging, or they are flattened the what so-called hierarchy. So it means that even you are part of the different departments, you are still included when it comes to decision making. So it's so good that in the workplace now there's inclusion, there's no such discrimination, wherein all of the part of the wherein all the employees now are being part when it comes to decision making, in a simple meetings, no, and problem solving and all. Okay, so an example of this, for example, a manufacturing plant, the management decided to flatten the hierarchy. So now workers like let's say Tom, who operates machinery, can directly suggest improvements for the production processes without going through multiple layers of approval. So this empowerment leads to innovative changes that enhance efficiency and make Tom feel like his voice truly matters. Okay? So that's an example of departure from traditional hierarchy structures. So there's already changes. Okay? Now let's move on to the fifth one. Fifth element, we have prioritization of equity. So, equity involves ensuring fair treatment, access, and also opportunities for all employees, while recognizing that different individuals may require different resources to succeed. Now, the implication of having this prioritization of equity, organizations are increasingly focused on creating equitable policies and practices that address historical inequalities. So, this includes equitable hiring practices, pay equity, and providing resources that maybe can support the diverse needs of the employees. So, for example, let's say that um, uh, a financial services firm realize that women in similar roles as their male counterparts are earning less. They conduct through pay equity analysis and discover discrepancies. So after making necessary adjustment, they communicate openly with their employees about the changes, fostering trust and demonstrating their commitment to fairness. Okay, so again, equity involves ensuring fair treatment, access, and opportunities for all of the employees, while recognizing that the different individuals may require different resources to succeed. Okay, now let's move on to the sixth element of you know new paradigm in workplace diversity. So we have open communication. So open communication foster transparency and also trust, so within the organization, so allowing the honest dialogue about diversity and inclusion efforts, no we can achieve more transparent organization. So the implication of having this open communication, organizations are encouraged to create channels for feedback and decisions or discussions where all um employees can voice out their concerns and suggestions regarding the DEI, or the diversity, equity, and inclusions or inclusivity initiatives. So this openness helped to build a culture of trust and accountability. Okay, so, for example, a retail company and the CEO host a monthly town hall meeting where employees can share their thoughts on diversity and inclusion. So, during one meeting, for example, as a sales associate, share my experience of feeling overlooked in promotions, maybe. So, the leadership team listens and take my feedback seriously, leading to changes in how promotions are handled, ensuring everyone has a fair chance. Okay? Now, let's move on to the last element of new paradigm in the workplace diversity. We have holistic employee engagement. So, when we say holistic holistic employee engagement consider that all over or well-being of employees, including their mental, emotional, and professional needs. So the implication of this, the new paradigm recognized that employee engagement goes beyond job satisfaction. So it encompasses life balance, the mental health support, and also opportunities for personal and professional growth. So if organization are implementing comprehensive wellness program, and also, let's say, they are fostering a supportive work environment, we can enhance our overall employee engagement. So, for example, we have a consulting firm that introduces a wellness program that includes yoga classes. So, mental health days and workshops on life balance. So, for example, I myself, I am stressed out consultant, participates in mindful workshops, so I learns the techniques to manage my stress. This support helped me feel more engaged and most productive at work, showing that the company cares about my overall well-being. Okay, so in conclusion or in summary, so the new paradigm in workplace diversity represents a transformative approach that prioritizes inclusivity, collaboration, the effective management of diverse workforces by moving away from traditional hierarchy or the traditional ones to embracing equity, open communications, and holistic engagement in engagement. So organizations can create more dynamic and innovative workplace that leverage the strengths of all employees. So this shift not only benefit the organization but also contributes to more equitable and just society. Okay, now let's move on to the ayan, key elements of new paradigm. So these are sa key elements of new paradigm. Okay, so first element of new paradigm is the emphasis on diverse equity and inclusion. So actually it's the same, but I just sent you already the file, so I'm going to explain this five elements of new paradigm in workplace. So let's talk about the first one, the emphasis on the diversity, equity, and inclusion, or what we call DEI. Okay, so initiative leads to more diverse workforce, which enhances creativity, innovations, and product development. So it's very important that we need to apply DEI in our workforce or in our operations. Okay? So aside from that, the flattened hierarchies. So one of our example kanina, yun nga, that all must be heard. So this approach result in more innovative marketing campaigns and diverse perspective contribute to the richer ideas and solutions. We have also open communication transparency. So just kanina rin, this the same. So this transparency build trust and engagement, leading to higher employee morale and also the sense of ownership in the company's success. So the fourth one is the focus on the employee well-being. So employees report higher job satisfaction and lower stress levels, so which contributes to better retention rates and overall productivity. And the last one, the availability of continuous learning. So this culture of learning enables the organization to quickly adapt to the new technologies and market demands and maintaining a competitive edge. Okay, so but this new paradigm in workplace, no, meron din namang challenges na kinakaharap or yung challenge in implementing new paradigm. So, the first challenge is the resistant to change. Hindi yan mawawala. So, in a certain organization, may mga tao talaga na hindi gusto ng pagbabago just because they are already in their comfort zones or maybe nasanay na sila doon. Okay? So, the best, for example, a traditional corporation faces pushback from senior management when introducing a new DEI strategy. So many leaders are skeptical about the needs for change. So the solution for this, the the organization must or can provide training sessions that highlight the business case for diversity, showcasing research that links diverse teams to improve performance and innovation. So we need to provide programs, trainings for them in order for them to be enlightened what can diversity or what this new paradigm in workplace can benefit them. Okay, so that is one challenge, the resistance to change. Okay, and and resistant to change. The second one is what we call misunderstanding diversity. Okay, so for example, employees believe that diversity initiatives are only about hiring more women or minorities, leading resentment and misunderstanding. So the solution that we can provide here, the organization must conduct workshops that explain that the broader benefits of diversity, including how varied perspective enhance problem solving and creativity. Okay, so the third one, we have sustained commitment. So for this example, a company launches DEI initiative but fails to follow up with ongoing training and support, leading to decline in engagement over time. So the best solution that we can provide or we can apply to our company is establish a DEI task force responsible for continuous assessment and improving the diversity initiatives, ensuring that they remain a priority involved with the organization's needs. Okay, so take note, by implementing these examples and addressing the challenge effectively, organization can create more inclusive and dynamic workplace that leverages the strength of diverse workforce. Okay? So now let's move on. Ayan, so tinatawag po natin na um, wait, key trends. Okay. So we have the different key trends, ayan, yung mga bago, no, in the workplace for 2024. So first trend that we have here is evolving remote workforce. So the question is, what are the benefits and challenges of remote workforce? So actually, mas marami na ngayon mas prefer to work remotely over in the office or in, so mas gusto na lang mag-work from home, mag-work in some in order for them to, provide something, or they can be with their family where they're working. So actually, there are a lot of benefits and challenges for a remote workforce. So, but we're going only to talk about the benefits of having or working remotely. So actually, the shift to remote work has brought a multitude of advantages for both employee and employers. So here are the key benefits. So the first benefit is improved work balance. So remote work actually allows employees to manage their schedules more effectively. So reducing commuting time, enabling them to allocate more time to personal activities and families. So actually, study shows that or show that this flexibility can lead to higher job satisfaction and overall well-being. So naalagaan nila yung pamilya nila, naalagaan nila yung mas maganda rin daw yung mental health nila kapag nagwo-work sila remotely. So yun nga, no, sabi dito nare-reduce rin yung commuting time natin. So um kapag nasa bahay ka kasi, if you are working remotely, mas especially kapag yung work naman is nasa through laptops or phones lang, no? It's better kapag nasa bahay ka. At least nabibigyan mo ng time yung family mo, at the same time hindi ka nagagastos. So aside from that, it's also increased productivity. So many employees report being more productive when working remotely. So the absence of office distraction and ability to create personalized work environment contribute to this increase in efficiency. So actually, research indicates that remote workers often complete tasks faster with a greater focus. Okay, so that's based on research. Pero ako naman kasi, based on my experience, if you are at home, though, it's good. Parang at the same time, nababagot ka kasi nandun ka lang sa bahay. Nababagot ka mag-work. So, yun lang yung parang disadvantage for me lang ha. So, we have also the cost saving. So, actually here, both employees and employer nagbe-benefit siya. So, in the part of employer, um, nakakapag-save siya kasi wala na siyang, for example, kapag rental, no, office, hindi na siya magbabayad ng rent for office. Hindi na siya magbabayad for the like by kuryente, yung mga water, and mga utilities and all, wala na siyang babayaran. So it's a win for the employers. It's a win naman rin at the same time sa employee kasi hindi na siya commute, no, even though meron siyang sasakyan, let's say hindi na siya magagas. So it's a both win-win situation for the customer, for the employer pala and the employee. So that is evolving remote workforce. Now let's move on to the second one. We have support diverse gender identities. So ito yung 2020 new trend sa 2024, no? Napapractice na kasi ng mga organization yung pag-i-implement ng support on the gender identities. So, now the question, why is it important to create an inclusive environment for all gender identities? So, yun nga, based nga sa pag-aaral, if there's diversity, if there's um, inclusivity and diversity in the workplace, it will leads to productivity. And if there's a productivity, there's is a profitability. Okay, so organization can implement several effective practices to support employees of various gender identities, fostering an inclusive and respectful workforce or workplace. So, meron tayong mga strategies na pwede natin gawin para ma-promote or ma-implement na effective po yung practices to support our employees if um, it depends on their various gender identities. So first, we need to clear policies and practices. Okay, so we need to have a clear policies and practices. For example, anti-discrimination policies, no inclusive language, Ayan, so pwede natin yung gawin, okay? Or we can also provide training and education for them about diversity para at least ma-aware sila, no? So that is, yun yung bago ngayon, yung second trend natin, no? Support of diverse gender identities. Ayan, the third na trend natin, we have the multi-general workforce. It's so good ngayon kasi wala nang limit or bias when it comes sa mga age. So, if, kung anong generation ka man na belong, no, meron ng acceptance. So, for example, in Jollibee, no, as we can see, meron na tayong nakikita na lola, na lolo, na nagsaserve pa. It's so good kasi, nabibigyan pa rin ng opportunity na makapagtrabaho ng marangal yung mga taong akala nila hindi na sila makakapagtrabaho because the competition is too tight, thinking that establishment right now preferred those who are young ones, and it's so good that there's already a multi-generational workforce na nakikita natin in our society or nangyayari sa atin. And alam niyo naman yung kagandahan ng pagkakaroon ng multi-general workforce, no? Since iba-iba nga kayo ng generation, thinking that every generation meron naman yang advantages, no? So for example, Gen Z more on technology, kapag yung Gen Y or yung millennial, no? More naman sila technology, it's both the same. Yung baby boomers, no? Generation X, nung mahilig naman sila sa mga manual things. So, there's an exchange of skills, no? Na-enhance yung ating skills. Okay? Skills diversity, na tinatawag natin. So, ayun. It's so good lang. Yeah, that is the trend number three, the multi-generational workforce. We have also the trend number four, the unconscious bias training. Ano nga ba yung unconscious bias? Kapag sinabi nating unconscious bias, also known as the implicit bias, refers to the automatic and often subconscious attitudes and stereotypes that individuals hold about certain groups of people. So these biases can be positive or negative and they are shaped by personal experiences. So um, there are effects of unconscious bias po kasi sa workplace dynamics. So for example, sa hiring and promotional decisions, so unconscious bias can significantly impact the hiring practices and promotion decisions. For instance, or example, no, a lack of diversity within the teams. So um if a manager might unconsciously favor candidates with a shared similar background and characteristics, no, maglilid yan to lack of diversity within the team. So this can perpetuate homogeneity and limit the potential for innovative ideas and perspective. So yun, at least ngayon meron ng mga unconscious bias training. Okay? And the last na ba to? Ayan, we have the last one. We have the increased transparency in DEI goals. So why is it important, or why transparency and diversity, equity, and inclusion goals important? Take note that transparency and diversity, equity and inclusion goals are essential for several reasons, no? Primarily revolving around accountability, the trust building, and fostering a culture of inclusivity within organizations. So, importance of transparency in DEI goals, yan, nagbibuild po tayo ng trust and accountability. So, aside from that, it also encourages, no, the continuous improvements. It also enhance the employee engagement and retention, and also it drives innovation for competitive advantages. Okay, so those are the key trends in the workforce diversity. Okay, so ano pa? Yung meron pa tayong trend number 6, and ito, mental health inclusivity. Nagkakaroon na ng mental health inclusivity, napag-uusapan na yung mental health sa workplace and all. Okay? So, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you learned something today.